We've got 3 callers from the UK, one from Russia and one from Sweden. So Rob, Davey, Graham, Alexi and Johan. It's great to see you all. Thanks again, guys, for joining us. But most importantly, a huge thank you to Colin Montgomerie, who is a European and Scottish golfing legend and Loch Lomond Whiskies ambassador, who's very kindly come along to give up some of his time on Zoom today to 5 lucky winners who all submitted questions that they would like to ask you, Monty. So to start with, I'm just going to have a bit of a blether and catch up with you, Monty, since we haven't seen each other since our evening at the R&A and our round of golf at King's Barnes. How are you doing, and what have you been up to in lockdown?
I found a room in the house that had a sort of treadmill and a bike, and I didn't really realise it was there. So I went into it, dusted it off, and went into it, and it's actually been quite good. I've enjoyed it. I found a microwave in the kitchen as well. That was a new toy. I'm very good with toast now. I'm excellent with toast. It's brown on both sides. I'm an expert.
I thought you were looking in good shape there, Monty, and now I know what you've been on.
Yeah, thanks. I'll pay you for that later.
How has it been for you coming to a bit of a grinding halt on the golf side of things?
It's the first time in my career, 33 years, that I've ever spent April, May, and it will be June at home.
What about any good books? Have you been doing any reading while you've been at home in Sunningdale?
I love the Dan Brown stuff where someone's gone into that type of idea and seeing what's what. I love that. So I've been reading 3 of his books, yeah.
Monty, I've got a book behind me that I've been reading, and I'm really hoping it's going to help me when I get back to the golf course.
Okay, yeah. Just put that down, okay? That was an embarrassment.
But let's talk for a moment, Monty, about the Open, because we know Loch Lomond are the official spirit of the Open and why we're all here today having this good blether. What do you think about that being postponed and by default pushing the 150th Open that was due to be played next year in St Andrews back another year?
Well, the advantage with that is it's still the 150th Open, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we've just missed a year. But as you say, they'll be back. And St George's will host the Open next year. It'll be the 149th Open. I think it's only right to do so. Shane Lowry's the Open champion for at least 1 more year further. You know, good luck to him.
Where does the Open sit in your mind now, Monty, and how much do you still dream of lifting the claret jug?
You know, when I entered the Open at number 2 in the world, there was dreams. Of course there was. I wouldn't say I dream about winning the Open. I would love to play again. The experience at Troon in 2016 was unique, and I'll take that away with me. It was a great thrill for me to play again. I'd love to do it again, and I'd love to try and have the opportunity of qualifying again, because that's my only route in.
Where is your favourite Open track? What course is your favourite?
Good one. I couldn't really put my finger on one particular one. I'd like to take a bit of both, or a bit of all 9 of them, to be honest. You know, really. I mean, the toughest test would be Carnoustie. As a Vista, I think you can't beat Turnberry. I think that around holes 8, 9, 10, 11 are just incredible at Turnberry, as good as we have, really. That's our Pebble Beach, really. And then if you go to the romance and the emotion, I suppose you've got to go to St Andrews, haven't you? That second shot into the last hole of St Andrews, and you think, that's special. Yeah. Very special. Yeah.
What would you say, just speaking of the emotional connection to the Open there, what's your favourite sort of, or I guess most special Open memory that you have?
Well, it goes back to St Andrews, really, and that 18th green, I suppose. You're playing with Tiger Woods, you're out last, 2005 Open.
Yeah.
He's number 1 in the world. He's leading. Probably, of all the Opens, I know it was the 3rd round and it was crazy, but I beat Tiger round the Open, and the support I had that day, I'll never forget that day of golf ever in my life. The Saturday round of the Open at 2005, and I beat him, and I didn't play with him the next day. I think Retief Goosen or Olazabal played him the next day, but I was out the second to last game. But I beat him, and I was thrilled to beat him round St Andrews, a course that he'd won in. You know, he just kept winning around there eventually. Yeah, amazing.
But of course, we are all here. We've been brought together by Loch Lomond Whiskies, and I absolutely feel so lucky to work with a family that you're an ambassador of, and you
Yes.
have, of course, your own signature single malt. And I thought, just finally, could you tell us a little bit about how special that is for you to have your own signature blend with them, and single malt with them?
It's amazing, isn't it, really? It's very humbling, you know, to walk through Heathrow Airport and to pick up a carton of whiskey, you know, the box of whiskey there, and the guy, one of the guys that was selling it, I said, "That's me, you know, that's my signature," you know, and he sort of didn't quite get it, you know, he wasn't quite with it.
Oh, come on.
And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. Have you got a pad and a paper, you see?" So I said, "Have you got a pad and a paper?" "I'll copy that." He says, "You can't copy that. That's a terrible signature," he says. "You can't copy that signature." So I did it, and he looked at it, he put it, he says, "Oh my God," he says, "it is you, you know?" I said, "Yeah, it is me, yeah, fine." So we had a picture together, it was great. We were friends for life after that.
Well, listen, Monty, as ever, it's a real pleasure to chat to you, and I'm going
Thank
to
you.
throw across to our lovely guests now so they can have an opportunity to ask their own questions. And I think we're going to start with Rob Simmons, who is from the UK. So Rob, over to you.
Hi, Monty.
Hello, Rob.
Right, so my question for you, you sort of already answered it, I suppose, but what was your favourite majors to play in, and why specifically the Open?
Well, was it the Open? Yeah, I mean, yes, that was my favourite moment of the Open, playing with Tiger. You know, you know, it doesn't happen very often. You know, when you're in competition, but I always got. I suppose it was. Yes, the Open would be one because I'm British, and you wanted to win your British Open as such. The Masters was always unique to play. Standing on that 12th tee at the Masters, you know, I was doing quite well a couple of times, and yeah, that gets you. I tell you, that gets you. You've got an 8-iron, a 9-iron in your hand, and you don't want to mess up. You really don't. You know, that really gets you. But to answer your question, if I had a choice, yes, the Open would be the one to win as a Brit, but the Masters would be a close second. Yeah, well ahead of the other two. But yeah, the Open's a special event. On that first tee, when you tee off, you feel on Thursday morning, is this it? Is this your time to win? You know, is this the first shot of hopefully only 270 to go? Would you say the same, Rob? Would you watch the Open more than you would any other major?
100%.
Yeah.
Golf in its purest form is the number one.
Yeah, but thanks for your question, Rob. That was great. Thank you.
A brilliant question there, Rob. Rob, just tell us, where are you in the UK?
So I'm in Norfolk at the minute. Home of a couple of lovely links courses.
Very royal. It's become a very royal county, hasn't it? You know.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're all well there in Norfolk, are you, Rob?
Well, yeah, we're sort of born for isolation in Norfolk, so it's all fine.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for the question, Robin, for joining in. We're going to move on to Davey now, who's in Glasgow, I think.
So thanks very much, Monty, for taking the time. And my question is, Monty, did you always set yourself aspirational targets whilst on the regular tour? And if so, do you still do that on the Champions Tour? Just keen to get an understanding of if you've got a number of majors on the tour in mind.
Yeah, you know, I do. Aspirations, targets, whatever you want to call them, you know. Yeah, you know, I set out of the year, and my goal is really to try and improve. If I haven't learned something around a golf, it's been a poor round. Whether it's been watching somebody else do something well, or whether it's been me doing it myself. A little chip shot, so how did he play that? Or how did he release that putter so well? Or why did he use a 3-wood off that tee when I'm using a driver? That was a mistake of mine, or something like that. And that's the goals I take into a round. And so aspirations would be, yeah, you know, I set goals to try and obviously win. If someone's going to have their day out, well, you can't win, you know, and you finish as high as possible. One of these games, you know, I mean, if I was winning in my heyday, and I'm talking, you know, 2 in the world here, if I was winning 10% of the time, that was fantastic. So that was a goal, really, 1 in 10, to see 10 tournaments where I was in my heyday, more so. What's your own handicap, David? There, what do you play off?
19.
19. Has it been lower?
It has been lower. Yeah, it was down to 16 at some point, but it's still pretty high. I tend only to play medals. I never practice, which is pretty poor. Trying to upload.
That's the issue. You know, you probably working Monday, Friday. You get on the course Saturday morning and expect to play bogey golf, which is quite good, to be honest.
But thank you, Davey, for that question.
Thank you very much.
From Guruk. We're going to move now to Graham White, who's our third participant from the UK.
Afternoon, Iona. Afternoon, Monty.
Hello, Graham.
My question is, and you've probably been asked this many times before, if you could choose a 3-ball to play, who would you pick? And on any course in the world, what course would you choose to play on? And that can be from players current or past.
Good, Graham. Good question. Yeah, I'm asked this a couple of times, and you know, and it's always eventually come to the same answer. You would expect people to say, "Oh, I'd love to have played with Ben Hogan or with Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus or whatever." You know, I managed to have done that. So I always go back to the good times that we had as a family. We were all off single-figure handicaps. So you can see it was a golfing household. My mother was off 9. She passed away 30 years ago now. And my dad was off about 5. My brother, he was never quite as good as Dad. It really annoyed him. He was off about 7. And I was roughly around about the scratch mark. And we had good games. We went summer holidays together, and we played as a 4. I was always Mum's partner because the high handicap took the low handicap, and my brother and father always fought in the middle. And there were great games, and if I could bring them back, that would be my perfect sort of 4-ball, 3-ball, 4-ball, as you say. Hopefully, you would have something similar. Would family members come to you first, or would you like to have played with sort of Tiger or something like that, or?
Well, I've got an older brother plays golf, and it, like you, is very competitive when you do play each other. But I'm late to golf. I started when I was just turned 50, but I'd love to play Tiger Woods. Love watching.
Yes.
I'd love to see more of Seve, unfortunately.
Yes.
And struggle with the third one, but possibly Rory.
Yes.
A fabulous golfer as well.
We do have a Russian, and that's Alexei, who's got our next question. So over to you, Alexei.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Monty.
Hello there. Good to see you.
And my question is, what is the main difference or differences in the swing between majority of amateur golfers and the professionals?
Cracking question, Alex.
Good question. God, I could be here all day on this one, Alexei. I tell you, I could be here all day. Okay, the 2 main differences, I think, really, amateur golf. I'm thinking here, amateur golf to professional golf. One is, if you understand this, I've never ever told an amateur player to quicken up. I've only ever told an amateur player to slow down. If we start our swing at exactly the same time as an amateur does, you would hit the ball before we do. Right? It would be a split second, but you'd get there before we do. And generally, the problem arises is the backswing. The first 2 foot, the first 45 centimeters, right? Or 60 centimeters of the swing is the most important part of the swing. And that has to be in rhythm, low and slow, right? And that gives you your rhythm and your timing. Amateurs tend to rush to get to the bottom of the ball, and they rush the backswing, never mind the follow through. And also, number 2 here is that most amateurs strangle the club. They're absolutely if I was to address the ball, I would be, say, 3 out of 10 on the grip pressure. Now, by the time I get to the top of the swing, yes, I'm hanging on. I'm 10 out of 10 at the top of the swing. But to get there, I've started at 3. Most amateurs grip on at 10 to start with. And that causes all sorts of problems. It causes a short, quick swing. And that's why most amateurs tend to slice the ball, because they're not completing their backswing, they're not relaxed.
Okay.
What's your own handicap, Alexi? What do you play off?
Now it's 10.8.
Oh, very good. Okay. Okay. So we've got a golfer in now. Oh, wow, with a 10.8. That's fantastic. Has it been lower than that? Have you been lower than that?
No, I think I will be lower this year.
Yes, good. Good.
Because my coach
Yes.
told me his version how professional swing differs from amateurs.
Okay.
His version
Very
is
good.
to clear the hip.
Well, that's true as well. That's another thing as well. Amateurs they have the lack of confidence to clear the left hip out the way.
Yep.
But you've got to start with light hands and slow to allow yourself to clear the left hip out the way. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Alexi, and it's a
Well
pleasure
done. Good luck to you.
from Russia. So thank you so much for that question. And we've got one more from Johan in Sweden, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Stockholm, Sweden. At the back nine of your career, Monty, looking back, what are some top things you have experienced thanks to golf, but outside of golf?
Well, number one is travel. Travel has been my education in life. I always feel you can learn an awful lot more traveling around the world than you can in any classroom. And that's given me my education, and it's given me great experiences, meeting new people around the world and giving myself memories, really. Playing golf with 3 presidents of the United States, prime ministers, to play with, royalty here at home as well. It's like you think, what? It's given me a superb life and superb memories, and travel has allowed me to do that, to give to different cultures, different experiences in life, to go to places that how I designed a course in Vietnam. How would we ever think that we'd ever, as a Westerner, to go and do that in Vietnam, amazing places and amazing people, and great food too, by the way, great food in Norway, the Thai Vietnamese, fantastic. And even, I never thought Alexis on the line there, to go and play in the Champions Tour event in Russia at Moscow Country Club. We never thought we'd ever do that back in the 60s and the 70s when the world was a very different place. To go to the North Island of New Zealand and to Gulf Harbour to see the real Maoris off the islands, and just amazing what it's given me, to have an education in life. And I think travel, I would recommend travel I know it's difficult right now, obviously, but travel has given me my education in life and my memories.
Well, Johan, thank you for that question. Another terrific answer, Monty. So thank you for sharing your memories with us. And to all 5 of you for coming on the line, Rob, Davey, Alexi and Johan, thank you so much for being wonderful participants in this Zoom call. And it isn't every day of the week that you get to have a Zoom call with one of the greatest golfers of all time, one of our favourite Scots of all time, and most importantly, our very own Loch Lomond Whiskies ambassador. So to you, Monty, thank you so much. I'll raise it. We've been chatting long enough that I don't have to feel guilty about sipping this.
My bar isn't open yet, Iona. You must be in Scotland.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you again.